Can you guys hear me at all?
Hey, Mary Beth.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mary Beth.
I think I was muted the whole time, right?
Right.
Let's just start that over completely. That was totally my bad. So let's just start that over completely. So I want to say good afternoon to everyone and welcome to Wkctc Live. My name is Mary Beth Head from the marketing office, and I'll be your host for this Q&A with members of our student services team. So October is a huge day at Wkctc. The Fafsa application opens today. Registration for spring 2022 classes is open, and the Wkctc scholarship application opens. If you are a new or current Wkctc student, a prospective student, or a family member who has questions about any of these topics, we're here to answer them. Whenever you have a question, just add your comments into the live chat. Also, as a special thank you for watching today's live stream, if you visit the admissions office in the Anderson Technical Building and mention that you saw today's live stream, you can get a free Wkctc t-shirt. So that's awesome, and you don't want to miss that opportunity. So now then I'm going to let everybody introduce yourself. So I'm really sorry for that, and I'm going to start with Tammy Thompson.
Hello, everyone. My name, as Mary Beth said, is Tammy Thompson, and I work in the marketing office with Mary Beth, and I will be coming in and out during the stream with any questions you may have, and I will see you all soon.
Okay, thanks, Tammy. I'm going to put you back in the green room, but we'll bring you back later. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to Trent and Summer. Trent, I'm going to let you introduce yourself first.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary Beth. Excited to be here. My name is Trent Johnson, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Wkctc, and really looking forward to the chat and talking about the great opportunities that we have.
Fantastic. Your turn, Summer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Summer Holland, Director of Academic Advising and Assessment here at West Kentucky. And I, too, as Mr. Johnson stated, am looking forward to being able to answer any of your questions or concerns that you may have in real time.
Fantastic. So welcome to you both again. And I do want to remind everybody that we are live. This is not pre-recorded. You can start typing in your questions now. And I'm going to let Trent, I think, take our first question today. So Trent, is it too late to register for fall 2021 classes?
Not at all. A lot of times people think that just because school has started or a semester has started that there's not any more opportunities, but our college is very unique that we have many start dates throughout the semester. Our next start date for classes is going to be actually October the 11th. We have some great 8-week courses that students can still apply for and take. We meet with students all the time that, want to build out an academic plan or even register for classes. And they say, when can I get started? I was working with a student today, and we said, how about next week, in October next month, and get in that class and take a class before that spring semester starts. It's a great springboard into the spring semester. These classes, we have a couple options that are on campus, and we also have a couple options that are online. Actually, we have a few more online than on campus, but we do have a lot of great opportunities for students to come in, start those 8-week classes, and go into the spring semester with a few classes already under their belt.
That's great. Thank you so much, Trent. So I do have a question from somebody in the chat, and I'm going to bring that up right now. It's about the FAFSA application. I applied for my FAFSA a few months ago. I recently logged in to check the status of the application and couldn't find my application on my account. So any idea how that could have happened? And then you might want to just segue into how filling out the FAFSA several months ago and today are different.
I can try to tackle some of that. So Trinity, the first thing, thank you for your question and logging in and being with us. The first thing I would like to kind of direct you to would be to contact our actual financial aid office so they can try to pull that file, pull your FAFSA. I know sometimes when students submit their FAFSA and it goes to the website and then it has to go and do its thing and be processed and be pulled down to our school, there could be things that trip it up or maybe are delaying it from being visible on your account. So I would definitely encourage you to hit the number on the bottom of your screen or send them an email so they can kind of look up your account. We know financial aid and FAFSAs are kind of those personal information. So we want to make sure that you contact them so they can actually look up your account and walk you through. And that's going to be for the 21-22 FAFSA. the not 22-23 FAFSA is the one that opened today. So for next fall, next spring is the FAFSA application that just loaded today. So if you haven't done that one as well, I would encourage you to go ahead and start that as well too.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Trent. So can you still get financial aid for fall 2021, or is it too late to do that?
No, absolutely. You can still get those. As we talked about signing up for 8-week classes, you can still do the FAFSA application, even though the new one started for today. You can still do the FAFSA application for fall 21, spring 22. You can also do the Work Ready Scholarship application if you're going into a Work Ready approved program. That's the tuition-free funding that the state of Kentucky offers for certain programs, and they go in those high-wage, high-demand fields, which for Wkctc is going to be your technical programs, your health programs, and then your business computer-related programs. So still a lot of opportunities for classes and funding for the fall 2021 semester.
Okay, thanks, Trent. Now, I know there might be some people out there or who watch this stream later who might be wondering, what is the FAFSA and why do they need it?
Sure. So, and I apologize because we do at the college talk a lot in acronyms, and especially in financial aid, it's very heavy with that. But the FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. That is what you can go to. It is where you will apply for not only just financial aid, but grants that you do not have to pay back. The two major grants that students are applying for will be the CAP grant, which is Kentucky funds, and then the Pell grant, which is federal funds. Doing the FAFSA is also a requirement of the Work Ready Scholarship Program. So if you're wanting to go into some of those tuition-free funding programs, the state of Kentucky does require you to at least have an active FAFSA on file. So it's very important that you go on to website at the bottom, studentaid.gov, and get that FAFSA process started. Our financial aid office here on campus, they help students with those questions and even can walk them through it, getting it started and working through the FAFSA and the different pieces.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So Summer, I have the next question is going to be for you. So Wkctc has classes that are kind of starting all the time. So it's not just twice a year or even once a year. I mean, there's literally classes starting lots of times. So when are the next class offerings for Wkctc and when do they begin? Now you're on mute, Summer. It's contagious.
Thank you, Mary Beth. I appreciate that. So as Trent was saying, we do have some 8-week course offerings that are scheduled to begin on October the 11th. We have those both in person and online. So that's going to be the next cycle of classes coming up. However, we also have, we started registering for our spring classes today, as a matter of fact. So that includes both currently enrolled, meaning if you are attending class or taking online classes, as well as anyone who is interested in either being a new student or a returning student. And those classes are what we refer to as spring. I know a lot of times, sometimes students get confused because of how it falls in the calendar year. So that will be classes that begin January the 10th, and then they will end in May. So you have the opportunity to potentially sign up for classes that will begin here in a couple of weeks, as well as go ahead and make out that plan and get enrolled for classes that start in January.
Okay, awesome. So what if I were a student and I wanted to take some classes that begin October 11th, but I also wanted to take classes in the spring? Can I register for both?
Absolutely, yes. That's one of the unique things, I guess one of the many unique things about our institution, and that is that you do have that opportunity with those flexible scheduling or multiple start dates. You have the opportunity to be able to go ahead and get started, which a lot of our students want to do. You know, when you make that decision to walk through that door or even call and schedule an appointment, you think, man, I really need to get this going right now. And then we definitely have options to be able to help you with that. Some may say, hey, I've got a lot going on. I want to wait just a little bit. And while it sounds like it's a while between now and January the 10th, it will definitely be here before we know it.
I think that's always the case. I think we're always just so shocked at how soon these dates come upon us.
Absolutely.
So a student might be out there watching right now and they're thinking, you know, I would love to take October 11th classes, or I would love to take spring classes, but they might exactly know how to get started. So what advice would you give for a student and then to get started, and who can they contact?
So that's going to be Trent and his team to get started out of the gate. We have a stellar admissions office, and they are able to assist students via email, over the phone, in person. You can always reach out to them directly, and their contact information is at the bottom of the screen. So you can reach out, schedule an appointment with them. If you've got some questions, you can submit those. You know, maybe you're not even ready for an appointment yet. And then, of course, we have in-person hours, and that's going to be on Mondays from 8 until 6. And then Tuesday through Friday from 8 until 4. And I think maybe our Monday evening shift is one of the, we've done it for so long, I think we don't emphasize it enough. So every Monday, as long as campus is open, we are here from 8 in the morning until 6 in the afternoon. So, and you can walk in during that time if you need to. I know we've got a lot of non-traditional students who are coming after work and things like that, and that is one of the main reasons why we offer those late hours.
Awesome, great. So I'm gonna just come back to the 8-week classes for just a second. Can you give us kind of a short example of maybe 2 or 3 types of classes that are available in 8-week classes, and how that might help a student get prepared for spring, or get a head start on spring in a way?
Sure, I'll give a plug for one, and Trent, you can take the other one if you want to. FYE 105 is our Achieving Academic Success course, and it is a required class for students coming in, whether you're a non-traditional student or a traditional student. And the purpose of that is it's going to familiarize students with all of the resources that we have to offer here at West Kentucky. And that's going to include both academic and non-academic. And by those terms, what I mean is, you know, we have an awesome tutoring program. Our library is like none other, and that includes some of our, 4-year and university partners. But then you also have Campus Covered, which is for students who are currently enrolled with food insecurities. We have Four Rivers Behavioral Health, counseling for our students. So it provides them with that information. It's what we a lot of times take for granted that some students already know. And then you also have the component of it that you will go through and look at your academic plan. So that's a term that you will hear us share with throughout your enrollment here at West Kentucky. And that that is a list of classes that you're going to take for your particular degree. So since we offer certificates, diplomas, and associate's degrees, sometimes that can get a little confusing, but it's legwork that you would be doing anyway, trying to figure out some of that, along with the ability to have someone right there, whether it's online or in person, that can answer those questions that you have at that moment. So that's one of the 8-week classes that we have that are available. I know we've got some general education classes as well. We've got some co-requisite classes. Trent, anything that you want to address, or any particular class?
Absolutely. So one of the great things about being part of a the Kentucky Community Technical College system is that we can also have students that are taking classes through multiple campuses. So there could be a class that we may not offer specifically here, but we do have a lot of options throughout our state And then also, even with our classes that we have at WKCTC, we even have some technical programs that are needing to start. And one of those could be like construction. We brought back our construction program a couple years ago. You could even start that in October. They start with, I think, a couple classes. That's a night class at our off-campus location in Hickory, right around Mayfield. So we have multiple classes that start. We have them starting in multiple locations. And the online pieces, so Summer talked about the FYE and even the construction classes. On top of that, you might take an English class, you might take a math class, and it's really great to kind of hit some of those classes in that 8-week format. If you're not so strong, or say that I'm worried about taking a class, I'm worried about taking too much, that 8-week class, if you were just to take one of those classes, it would be a great springboard into a confidence builder for a student that I went through the class, I was successful, I can do this, I see myself as a college student, and that really rolls into a short break, then right into our spring semester. So it allows the students not only to take multiple classes across multiple semesters, but the timing of the 8-week class that goes into the next spring semester really fits nicely and allows those students to accumulate some of those hours pretty quickly. And that's one question we hear a lot is, I'm worried about going back to school because I'm afraid it's going to take too long, or the time commitment might be too much. When you can actually see some of those classes getting completed and you're being successful, just like what we're talking about, it's funny how fast you can move through and it actually happens. So the 8 weeks are great options to get started.
Thank you guys so much. That was awesome information. So I do want to remind everybody who's watching that this is a live broadcast. This is not pre-recorded. This is a fantastic opportunity for you guys to ask questions to our panelists here and get some great information. So I'm going to move down to Trent, and I have a question for you. What type of funding is there for fall 2021?
Okay, so it's a great question, and we kind of hit on it just briefly, but the funding that's available for fall 21-22 at this point, of course, you have the FAFSA. Students can fill that out today, and you'd fill out the fall 21-22 school year, and that will cover you for next spring as well. You can go to the FAFSA website that we mentioned and referenced earlier, and then the Kentucky Work Ready, there is funding for that as well. That is a May 1st application start date. So where our FAFSA is the October 1st start date, the Work Ready Scholarship for those tuition-free programs, such as your technical programs. I'm just going to list a few that could be like welding or construction or auto body, electrical, diesel. Your health programs, which could be nursing, sonography, radiography, LPN. There's all kinds of options. And then the business programs, and that goes in much more than just business. That can be computers, that could be business management, it could be real estate management. There's all types of opportunities. I think it's probably close to 100 programs that we have options that are tuition free. So those are the big two pillars right now for funding for fall 2021. The scholarship deadline was March 1st, so those scholarships have passed. So we're really leaning on those two, but this is the great time to get into school, Mary Beth. There's been a lot of different things happen. And of course, right now with stuff like the Work Ready Scholarship and even the FAFSA, the funding is out there, and this is a great time for you to go back and have one of those major barriers removed. We work with a lot of students through the student services in my office. Summer's awesome team down the hall, they work with students, and we always find that cost is a major barrier for students getting into school. The one is there, but maybe I don't have the mean to get there. Well, right now we have some great programs like the Work Ready Scholarship and FAFSA that makes going to school more affordable than ever. So really there's opportunity for fall. And then today is a big day, as we've mentioned several times, kicks off kind of that next financial aid cycle, the next scholarship cycle for our students going into the next fall term and even spring term.
Yes, today is a big day, which is why we're here, talking all about what you guys can expect for spring 2022. And Summer, I'm going to let you talk about scholarships. So I believe the scholarship application opened today.
Absolutely. And that's one of the wonderful things that we have going on here is October 1st holds so many opportunities. So our scholarship application is live. It is one scholarship application that you complete. And that's where I think, again, that word unique comes into play, where we are unique compared to some other institutions. It's one application. We have queries for all of the individual scholarship criteria, and based on the information that each student enters, will make them eligible for as many scholarships as possible. So we do have some that are what we refer to as automatic award. And that is based on high school GPA, ACT scores, and class rank. We also have those available who are currently enrolled students that can be automatically awarded. Again, and that's going to be based off of credit hours completed, as well as your current GPA here at the college. So, and then we'll have what we refer to as program specific. So if you are going into education, we have scholarships that are designed specifically for those majors. There are some that are available for residents of specific counties. We have a scouting scholarship where if you've had any type of scouting experience, you may qualify for that. One of my, being part of the scholarship office for a number of years, I always tell students, you know, a lot of times we're reluctant to toot our own horn, or for lack of a better phrase, but this is one of the opportunities that I always encourage students. Please, there is no way for us to know unless you tell us what all you've been active in, what all you have accomplished, you know, barriers that you may have, things like that. So while it may seem to be a lengthy scholarship, the more information you can give us, the better. And that, again, also ensures that if there are multiple scholarships that a student is eligible for, that they will be in that applicant pool for all of those scholarships.
Thank you, Summer. And I do want to plug our website. So if you go to wkctc.kctcs.edu, this is our homepage. If you're interested in a scholarship application, you can type scholarships into the search bar here at the top. Or if you scroll down just a little bit, we have a great to-do list for you guys. This is the Fafsa application link. This is to contact admissions so that you can register for spring classes. And then the application for scholarships link. So just a great little to-do list for you guys that is out there. Please take advantage of that. And yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Summer. So Summer, I know that there are some like fake FAFSA links out there. So let's just talk quickly about the correct link. I know that we just showed how the students can get there, but we definitely want to make sure that students are not going to the wrong site.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that we combat is, so the correct link is posted right there on the bottom of the screen, and it is studentaid.gov. And that is to complete your FAFSA application. It is a free application. And unfortunately, there have been times where students have come to us and they were like, hey, you know, I filled out my application for financial aid, but I had to pay $75 and I didn't know if you guys received it or not. And so unfortunately, when things like that happen, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. But to be proactive, we wanted to make sure that students had that exact site and that they know that it is a free application. So if you find yourself Googling for that FAFSA application and get to the point where they're asking you for money, please do not transfer any type of funds or pay them any means, because it is a free application. And one of the important reasons for sharing all of this, I realize October 1st, yes, it is the very first day, but as Trent mentioned earlier, that application is applicable for federal and state funds. And while federal funds are not limited, meaning, if you qualify for it, it's there, state funds are. So that CAP grant and SEOG is first come, first serve. So again, we get into that rhythm of, August of 23 is a long ways away. But having those funds secured now, it gets you better prepared for the upcoming semesters.
Definitely. What if a student needs some assistance or some help filling out that FAFSA application? Does WKCTC offer any help with filling out the application?
You bet we do. We have an amazing financial aid team here on campus. Mark Smith is the director, and he has some wonderful individuals working in his office, and they are always very accommodating and willing to help. So don't ever hesitate. There's their contact phone number, so you can reach out to them. You can also send them an email. But their door is always open, and they are here with us. And when I say us, I mean admissions and advising. And we are all located in the Anderson Technical Building. And whenever you walk in the front door, there's an information desk. There are wonderful individuals there that will help you as well. But one telltale sign of the financial aid office is to look for the green door.
Thanks, Summer. So I want to remind everybody who's watching that if you go to the admissions office in the Anderson Technical Building after this stream and let them know that you saw the stream today, then you can get a free WKCTC t-shirt. So please take advantage of that. That'll be awesome. Tell them that you saw the stream either on Facebook or YouTube, and they will hook you up with a shirt. So I'm going to ask a question for Trent. So Trent, on the WKCTC website, there is an apply button here. And so that's for the application for West Kentucky. So after a student applies to West Kentucky, what are the next steps that they need to follow?
Okay, excellent question. When you apply to the college, that first step is going to be filling out that admissions application on our website. It is a free application. We do not have an application fee. You will select what term you're wanting to select, what program you're wanting to study. You'll send that in. Then after that, you will need to send in any educational transcripts. So if you are a person who's completed high school or your GED and you don't have any, other college experience, we would need an official copy of that transcript. After we get that, we will work with you as far as getting you enrolled in classes with the advising center. We'll look at those test scores, GPA, any of those academic markers on that profile to make sure that we're setting you up in the right classes. Now, if you've been to a college, you'll need to submit any and all of your college transcripts. We require those transcripts to be on file, and those would complete your admissions file. It's not necessarily a part of the admissions process, but we highly recommend while you are applying, and as we're talking about October 1st, to make sure that you go ahead and do the FAFSA application. So the admissions application, the FAFSA application, go ahead and get that started. It does take several days to process. I think about a week's what it takes, from the time you hit submit to the time it goes all the way through. And then getting those transcripts to us. Once we have your admissions file complete, you can work with admissions representatives or get an appointment with the advising team to literally look at your next steps, what classes you need to take, and then when do you need to start doing those things. So that's really a pretty simple process, but being prepared to get those transcripts, I know that holds some students up. We often hear that students say, well, I've registered and I'm ready to go, and you come into the building, we need those transcripts. So getting those transcripts really helps us on several different levels, but most of all, not just us, it helps us prepare the students to be advised correctly and make sure we're putting them in a successful pathway of what types of classes they need for their program of study.
Okay, great. So say I've applied and I've filled out the FAFSA and I'm ready to apply for classes. Summer, where does a student go to register, for those classes, and how do they go about doing that?
So that's typically my office, our office. And students really have several different options when it comes to registering for classes. Of course, appointments are always recommended, and that allows both the student and the academic advisor the opportunity to do a little bit of research, to prepare, and be ready, and maybe not such off the cuff, but we can do that too. But we do appointments over the phone. We do them virtually. We can do them in person. We've even worked with students via email. So lots of different methods in order to be able to get a student registered. If you are new to West Kentucky or returning, and by returning, I mean maybe you were here last spring and didn't come back this fall, or if you attended 5 or 10 years ago and you've decided, hey, now is the time I really need to go back. You can make appointments by contacting the advising center, and you can do that via phone. And I've been referring to the bottom of the screen, but I'll go ahead and read that number. It's going to be 270-534-3349. Or they can, anybody can send an email to Wkctc advising at kctcs.edu, and just drop us a little bit of personal information as far as like name, date of birth, so we can identify. We always like to look up accounts before reaching out to a student, and then we can contact you and let you know what we have available for appointments. And then a new thing that we're doing, or say new, it is going to be offering drop-in hours. So every day, as long as campus is open between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., students are welcome to come into the Anderson Technical Building, and we are located in room 106, and we can help students register that way.
Okay, Summer, so I have one more question, I think, and it's about advising as well. So when a student is ready to register for classes, are they assigned an advisor, or can they come to the advising office and have an advisor kind of assigned to them? How does that process work?
That's an excellent question, Mary Beth. So like I was referring to with those returning students, someone may have come to us and was planning on transferring to begin with, and now their advisor may be retired. I see Jerry Anderson's name come across my screen sometimes every once in a while with a returning student. So if you're not currently attending classes, you will need to meet with someone within our office. And like I said, by whatever means necessary, phone, email, or however we can assist. And then an advisor will be assigned to that student based on their program of study. So to not further complicate or cause any confusion, I think it's best that, hey, anybody here in the advising center, we've got 5 full-time professional advisors. Any of us are willing to help. A lot of times Trent and his admissions team will help us as well. We can help you to get started and get back at West Kentucky, and then we will definitely get the student with an academic advisor within their program of study, but that can be for upcoming semesters.
Thank you so much, Summer.
Yes, ma'am.
So before we wrap up, Trent, I'm going to give you one last opportunity to just kind of shout out admissions and the whole October 1st day, and I'm just going to give you an opportunity to talk to everybody out there who might be on the fence about registering or enrolling. And you're muted. It's very contagious.
I see it. Absolutely. I'm more than happy to do that. So today's just, like we said, it's one of those days that we kind of circle on our calendar at the college, because we know that it signifies so many different things for us. But today's a great day. It is a day where you can come to the campus, you can get enrolled, start that process, fill out an application, do the FAFSA, do the scholarship application. It's kind of like a day where all the doors are kind of back open, where you have all these opportunities to either start in the spring or even get jump started with a class or two this fall for this semester. Our admissions office, we're here Monday through Friday. We've already kind of plugged once our late hours till 6 o'clock. We're here. We can help through phone, through email, virtually, in person. We're really here to help all of our students. We know that this is a great time to come back to school. We are one of the best community colleges in the nation. We're very proud of our school, very proud of our programs and our faculty and staff that are here to take care of our students. So right now is a great time to get started in something new. And again, the services that you have here, they're going to really get you set up to be successful. We have so many different programs that students can take, online. They can take at multiple campuses. We really have a lot of options that are going to fit the needs of all of our students, whether you're a returning student, like Summer mentioned, and you want to come back to school, or you're brand new and you've been thinking about, I need to pursue a degree. Now's the time to get those things started. And we're going to be here doing that all the way till the end of December. And then when classes start in January, that's another big time for us. So you have the time now to get those things started and meet with our team and get ready for that spring 2022 semester.
Thank you so much, Trent. And I want to thank Summer again for being on here. You guys are incredible. Guys out there watching, Trent and Summer are excellent resources. If you have anybody in your life who you feel might benefit from this stream, please feel free to share it on Facebook, share it with your friends, share it individually to a friend who you think might need it. This has been just a lot of really super information. So that is going to wrap up our segment of WKCTC Live. Today is a big day at WKCTC, please remember, and a chance for you to prepare for the spring 2022 semester, and we are here to help you. If you need help, you can always visit our website at westkentucky.kctcs.edu. So right here is a view of our website, and if you scroll down just a little bit, you've got 3 very important things on your to-do list. Fill out the FAFSA, register for spring classes, and apply for scholarships. And those items are right there at your fingertips for your convenience. Remember to visit the admissions office in the Anderson Technical Building and mention that you saw today's live stream, and you can receive a free WKCTC t-shirt. Guys, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. We will see you soon, and good night.
Thank you.